You ever sit down in a restaurant, take one sniff, and think, something feels off? Well, there are a few places you might want to think twice before eating. Stick with me. Some of these will surprise you. Here's the thing. When we go out to eat, we usually think about the menu, the price, maybe the vibe. But what we don't always think about is what's happening behind the scenes. And sometimes that's where the scary stuff hides, from sketchy kitchens to food that's just not what it seems. Knowing which restaurants to avoid can save you from a really bad night, or even worse, a trip to the hospital. So, let's break it down. 6 restaurants you might want to cross off your list. Here's the thing. When we go out to eat, we usually think about the menu, the price, maybe the vibe. But what we don't always think about is what's happening behind the scenes. And sometimes that's where the scary stuff hides, from sketchy kitchens to food that's just not what it seems. Knowing which restaurants to avoid can save you from a really bad night, or even worse, a trip to the hospital. So, let's break it down. 6 restaurants you might want to cross off your list. You're on a road trip. You're starving. You walk into a gas station, and there it is, sushi. Quick, cheap, easy, right? But here's the problem. Sushi is not just another snack. It's delicate. It has to be fresh, kept ice cold, handled carefully. One slip, just one, and dangerous bacteria can sneak in. Salmonella, Listeria, even parasites. You won't see them. You won't taste them. But trust me, you'll feel them. Sushi should be eaten within 24 hours of being made. In a restaurant, you eat it fresh. At a gas station, you have no clue how long it's been sitting there. Hours, days, who knows? Now tell me this. Do you really trust a gas station fridge with raw fish? Sure, it looks better than chips. It feels healthy, light, even fancy. But convenience doesn't kill bacteria. What looks like a smart choice could be the one that ruins your trip. Want something safe? Grab chips, nuts, jerky, or just stick to soda and water. At least they won't send you to the hospital. Sushi belongs in sushi bars, not gas stations. So the next time you see it, walk away. Your stomach will thank you. Buffets have a special place in food culture. The idea of walking into a restaurant and being greeted by endless rows of steaming hot dishes, crispy fried foods, fresh salads, and rows of desserts is almost irresistible. For many, buffets represent freedom. You can eat as much as you want, mix cuisines, and go back for seconds or even thirds without judgment. But behind the convenience and variety lies a hidden risk that most people don't think about. Buffets can be breeding grounds for germs and bacteria. One of the biggest issues with buffets is how long the food sits out. Unlike freshly prepared meals that go straight from the kitchen to your plate, buffet food can remain exposed for hours. During that time, it's vulnerable to contamination from both the environment and the people around it, even with sneeze guards in place. There's no guarantee that food isn't exposed to droplets from people talking, coughing, or sneezing nearby. Then there's the issue of human behavior. Not everyone follows buffet etiquette. Some people use their hands instead of tongs, double-dip utensils, or mix serving spoons between dishes. All of these habits can spread bacteria from one dish to another. Even a single person with unwashed hands can contaminate food that dozens of others will eat. Temperature control is another major concern. Safe food handling guidelines state that hot foods must be kept at 140 degree, 60 degree, or higher, and cold foods should remain at 4 degrees, or lower. These temperature zones are important because they prevent the rapid growth of bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria. At a buffet, though, it's easy for food to fall into the danger zone between 40 and 40, where bacteria multiply quickly. That delicious-looking tray of fried chicken may have been sitting under a heat lamp for hours, cooling down just enough to become risky. This is why many people feel unwell after eating at a buffet. It's not always because they overeat, though that certainly happens, but often because their bodies are reacting to low-level foodborne bacteria. Symptoms like bloating, nausea, or stomach discomfort may seem minor, but can indicate mild food poisoning. For people with weaker immune systems, such as children, the elderly, that doesn't mean all buffets are dangerous. Reputable establishments follow strict safety practices, such as frequently replacing trays with freshly prepared food, monitoring temperatures, and ensuring utensils are used properly. But the sheer volume of food and the number of people involved make buffets inherently riskier than ordering a freshly cooked meal. So while buffets may feel like an indulgent paradise of endless options, it's worth remembering the hidden health concerns. Enjoying them occasionally is fine, but being cautious choosing freshly replaced dishes avoiding raw or risky foods like sushi or seafood, and paying attention to how food is handled can help reduce the chances of an unpleasant post-buffet experience. Number 4. Mall Chinese food samples. You've walked through the food court. The smell of fried rice, noodles, and sizzling chicken fills the air. Suddenly, someone with a toothpick waves you over. Want a free bite of orange chicken? At first it seems harmless. Just a small sample, right? But here's the catch. Those little cubes of chicken aren't always as fresh as they look. They've been sitting under those glowing heat lamps for who knows how long. Heat lamps don't cook the food, they just keep it warm, sort of. The longer that food sits out, the more it dries up, loses quality, and becomes a breeding ground for bacteria. Now think about the trays. Hundreds of hands pass by those counters every single day. Some customers grab food, some lean over, some even sneeze nearby. Even though workers rotate samples, the exposure is constant. And those toothpicks? You're trusting that every single one is handled perfectly, but in a busy mall, things can slip. Sure, some mall food spots are clean and follow the rules. But the reality is this: samples are a marketing trick. They're not served to give you the freshest food. They're designed to hook you, to reel you in for a full plate. And that plate of chow mein, orange chicken, or sweet and sour pork? It might not be freshly cooked. It could have been sitting around for hours, reheated once, twice, maybe even 3 times before landing in front of you. So while that free bite feels like a tasty bonus, you're really rolling the dice. A single toothpick of chicken might not hurt you, but over time, eating food that's been sitting, reheated, and exposed isn't exactly the cleanest choice. Sometimes that free sample comes with a hidden cost. Number 3. Roadside carnival stands. Carnivals are magical. Bright lights, spinning rides, fun games, and of course, the irresistible smell of food drifting through the air. Funnel cakes dusted with powdered sugar, giant turkey legs, corn dogs, fried Oreos, and cotton candy that melts in your mouth. It feels like the ultimate treat. But here's what most people don't realize. Those roadside carnival stands often don't face the same strict food inspections as traditional restaurants. That fryer oil sizzling your favorite snacks, it might not have been changed all day, or even for several days in a row. Old oil breaks down, collects food particles, and can give food a burnt, bitter taste, while also making it less safe. Then there's the issue of hygiene. In a fast-paced carnival setup, with workers rushing to serve long lines, proper hand washing isn't always a priority, and in some cases, there may not even be a proper hand washing station nearby at all. Refrigeration is another big problem. Unlike restaurants with industrial coolers, many temporary stands rely on coolers with ice, or no refrigeration at all. That means meat, dairy, and sauces can spoil quickly, especially under the hot sun. Spoiled food doesn't always look bad at first glance, but once you eat it, you'll know. Foodborne illnesses from undercooked meat, spoiled dairy, or cross-contamination can hit hard and fast. Sure, that deep-fried Twinkie, greasy corn dog, or funnel cake dripping with chocolate looks tempting, and most of the time people eat carnival food without issue. But the risk is real. Behind the flashing lights and sweet smells, food safety can take a backseat. So the next time you're at a carnival stand, remember that delicious-looking bite might come with more than just powdered sugar. It could come with a stomachache you never saw coming. Number 2, Hotel Continental Breakfast. Yep, the free breakfast that comes with your room. Toast, cereal, maybe a waffle machine. Sounds good, right? But here's the thing. Most of that food isn't kept safe. The eggs, powdered or reheated. The fruit, cut hours ago. And those communal coffee pots? Total germ central. Worse, guests don't always follow the rules. Ever see someone grab a bagel with their hands? Or cough near the food line? Yeah, it happens. Best bet, stick to sealed items like packaged yogurt, or skip it and grab something fresh down the street. Number 1, airplane food. And now, the big one, airplane food. Here's the truth. Airplane meals are made in giant catering kitchens hours before takeoff. They're cooked, frozen, reheated, and then served in a cabin, where the air pressure actually dulls your taste buds. That's why everything tastes bland, unless it's packed with salt and sugar. But worse, some airplane kitchens have been caught with gross violations, mold, pests, dirty equipment. And because meals have to travel from kitchen to plane, there are a ton of chances for something to go wrong. Fun fact, even some flight attendants avoid the meals. They bring their own snacks instead. So maybe, next time you fly, pack a sandwich instead of trusting that mystery chicken. So let's recap. Gas station sushi? Nope. Buffets? Germ playground. Mall samples? Risky bites. Carnival stands? Sketchy. Hotel breakfasts? Not so safe. And airplane food? Better bring your own. Eating out should be fun, not risky. And the more you know, the better choices you can make. Now I want to hear from you. What's the sketchiest thing you've ever eaten? Street food? A flight meal? Maybe a buffet gone wrong? Drop your story in the comments, I'll be reading them. And hey, if you found this helpful, smash that like button. Subscribe for more hidden food secrets.